Hello, fabulous Cancer. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of January 2016, Love Focus. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here and Happy New Year to everyone out there. So this is the Love Focused horoscope. As I touched on in the general focused horoscope, love is going to be a big focus for you throughout this month for a whole bunch of reasons. One is a new moon happening in your opposite sign. Now, when there is a new moon in your opposite sign, it is other people, particularly those one-on-one connections that are asking for your attention, that get your attention at that. And it is those one-on-one connections that also show you some very valuable things about yourself. And that couldn't be more true than this month, especially where it comes to another person being there so you can see yourself differently. Regardless if you're single as the month begins, regardless if you've been single for a long time as the month begins, you're in a committed relationship, you're getting to know somebody, this is going to be a time when someone else is certainly there to help you to see yourself differently and to help you to understand some very deep truths about yourself and your state of love and your willingness to love through the experiences that you share. So we have within this interesting celestial sky a new moon happening. And this new moon is happening with Pluto close by, speaking with Uranus and speaking in supreme harmony with Jupiter. And it is Pluto that is going to play a key part. Mercury's retrograde in this part of the sky too. And moving over Pluto, dancing with Pluto, the sun will meet Pluto as well. So all of this suggests moments of truth, moments of passion, maybe even obsession, moments of feeling like fate is really powerful, moving you in a certain direction. And this can also be some very intimate and deep understandings about yourself, your motivations, and how it is that you are where you are, and where it is that maybe you have control and where it is that you don't. And especially where it comes to love, I do think that one of the sacred lessons of love is how powerless we really are over other people. I think that that's one of the sacred lessons that love in romantic relationship form, because love comes in all different kinds of forms. But where it comes to romantic relationships, I do think that that is one of the, one of the top 5 spiritual lessons that romantic connections and partnerships are meant to teach us. We have no control really over another person, and that people do all kinds of things that have nothing to do with us, nothing because we attracted it, nothing because we did anything to make them do anything. People make choices based on where they've been, what they've learned, how they've interpreted their experiences, and also based on what they think they want and where it is that they desire to go. And those decisions have nothing to do with anyone else, including you, as is going to be one of the lessons this month. So if you are in an established bond, this is, one of those times where change must take place. The truth will come out. So again, if you're in an established bond, things are coming very much to the surface. You may be talking about things that you haven't talked about before, maybe admitting some things that you haven't before, whether it is secrets. In all honesty, it could be that. It could be secrets coming forward. And that might not be bad. That could actually work in your favor. Or it could be just very strong feelings coming forward as well. And also surprising yourself by how strongly you feel about this person. And there might even be like some fear there, to be honest. I mean, this is Pluto, after all, very involved in the occurrences taking place in your opposite sign. And so sometimes we tend to be with somebody not necessarily for very pure reasons. So this is going to be the universe showing you that pathway, showing you that way, helping you to get clear and helping you to understand, why are you with this person? And remember, I think I've said it already. I've probably said it about 5 times so far in this video, but when you make choices in a Mercury retrograde, I know I've been saying this as we've been going along in the weekly horoscopes for sure, and I will say it again as we go along in the weekly horoscopes. When you have Mercury retrograde in your opposite sign, or even in a sign that is in your own element, right? So in another water sign, let's say. So that's not the case here. Here we have Mercury retrograde in your opposite sign. So this is one of those like sort of astrological rules that tends to apply quite broadly. And that is that when you have a Mercury retrograde in your opposite sign and you make a decision regarding relationships, it tends not to stick. The results tend to be different. So I know I've done videos about Mercury retrograde before, and I remember answering, I have a frequently asked question segment that I do sometimes, and I had actually answered a question about dating somebody during a Mercury retrograde. If you meet somebody, Mercury's about to go retrograde, should you just put that date off until Mercury's direct or what? And that was really fun. That was a lot of fun to share and to put out there. But having said that, when Mercury retrogrades in your opposite sign, if you meet someone new, there might be stuff that you're not realizing, okay? This doesn't have to be bad. It might actually be really, really good, as you'll come to realize as Mercury goes direct. If you break up with somebody, it might be based on some misinformation or convoluted information. And also, it tends to be that the decision to break up might not stick, likely won't stick. Pluto's involved. Pluto can be very final, but also with Mercury retrograde in your opposite sign, it is very possible that an ex would come back into your sphere. And, you know, I'm just going to put it out there. It's very possible that, especially when you think of that ex, you know, who just really riled you up, that ex where either there was a lot of passion or there was just an intensity of emotion, that ex is the most likely, I'm sorry to say this, but that ex is probably the most likely to reappear because Pluto is so involved in this. So Pluto is a planet of a strong pull towards another person. Mercury retrograde in this part of the sky meeting Pluto tends to suggest that it is those very types of people, particularly in your past, that may come about again as part of you understanding what had happened with that person and you, and why it is that whatever choices were made. And what you do with that and how you go forward with that, completely up to you. If you're in an established bond, a lot of things are just going to be very on the surface, and chances are your partner is going to be going through a whole lot of changes, and you've got to allow them that. You've got to allow them that space, and learning this whole spiritual lesson of powerlessness is going to be strong. But ultimately, that trust in that other person brings you closer together. If you are just getting to know somebody or open to meeting someone new, well, look, if you're just getting to know somebody, this can be a time when you get to know a whole lot in a short span of time, and it makes you not sure what to do. Do you want to run? Do you want to stay? You're not really sure. So that should be interesting all around. At the very least, you'll have some interesting stories to tell, especially if you're open to meeting someone new. Chances are it will be an adventure. There will be at least one person there to help you understand yourself in the context of relationship, to make you aware of some spiritual lessons that do surround relationships. And ultimately, it does look like this is meant to show you why you are where you are in the context of love. But also, like I said, I don't think it's going to be like all serious. I have this feeling that maybe you'll meet some people. Maybe it might not be like a long thing. It might just be a brief a brief meeting, a brief interlude, whatever the case may be, but certainly will be an entertaining story to tell for its sheer unusualness for a long time to come. But you'll also learn a lot about yourself in the process, which is good, right? Those interesting adventures that we have in life, they can be spiritual as well, but you can also enjoy and fully enjoy those interesting experiences also. What I love about this month for you is love gets real. That's really what it comes down to. Love is real, love is honest, and love is felt to your core. When you understand that love ultimately is a force of transformation and a force of change in your life, then you allow it to reach you and change you for the better.